right. All right, there's a couple folks on. And good morning, friends, and whoever may be here. A little sound check, so maybe reflect on that. I'm going to chant for just a moment here, a little bit of time before we officially start. But we're Shivalaya, and we have our Seva, Sadhana, and Solstice retreat going on. So really happy about that. Let's have the camera. And I think, we always kind of start with the start of things, and that's honoring Ganesh, as an archetype, as a force here. And so maybe just bring your awareness into the heart center. And it's this place that's called Hridayam. And it's behind the very bottom part of the sternum, and about 3 or 4 finger widths deep inside the chest cavity. And that's where we'll abide here in the abode of the self. And Ganesh is a bit of a mystery, really. No one really knows how this entity works in our lives, how the forces combine to remove the obstacles. And one might say that the obstacles in life might even prevent us from nourishing our higher self. Maybe we need to learn some lessons along the way to advance on this evolutionary path. It's hard to say. Om Gananam Tva Ganapati Gum Havamahe Priyanam Tva Priyapati Gum Havamahe Nidhinam Tva Nidhipati Gum Havamahe Vaso Mama Aham Jani Bharvadama Kumajasi Bharvadam Om Gananam Tva Ganapati Gum Havamahe Priyanam Tva Priyapati Gum Havamahe Nidhinam Tva Nidhipati Gum Havamahe Bhaso Mama Aham Jani Bharvadama Kumajasi Bharvadam Om Namaratna Samagittam Muktahar Vibhushitam Svanasam Asam Charuptichakam Pratigritam Om Namaratna Samagittam Muktahar Vibhushitam Svanasam Asam Charuptichakam Pratigritam Om Dashangam Gugulam Dupam Sugambhi Sunnopuram Asmita Namatugam Vihana Paradobhava Okay. All right, friends. So I just up here to the, to the stream. Good morning, Sarah, Beth, Stephanie. Stephanie's here. She was here yesterday, and just let me know how the sound is coming through. Hopefully, pretty good, pretty fluid. And we have some friends up here this weekend for our retreat. So got that all kicked off and really happy about that. And just wanted to talk a little bit about the theme that I posted this morning, Seva and Asmita. Seva and Asmita. And Seva, we know, is service in this context, selfless service. And Asmita means ego. And so we had a pretty good, lively conversation. Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, thanks, Steph, about the sound. About the ego and our work and things. And I started considering the five glaciers, which we know as the five obstacles of the mind. And so the first one, as we know, is avidya. So that's, ignorance. The second one is asmita, egoism. The third is raga, that's attachment. Fourth, devesha. And the fifth is abhinavesha, and that's the fear of death. And in considering kind of our work here this weekend and just in general, the idea of karma yoga, it really circles through the five kleshas. And the reason that I say that is if we're not directed our minds to a divine imprint, if you will, then that's avidya, that's ignorance. And then the ego, that's necessarily to produce our work, can become very vital, if you will. And then ultimately in our work, we can develop attachment, we can develop raga, or we, don't want to do something. So we, avoid that. And that's, dvesha. And then abhinavesha, doesn't say come in so much, but it's always there, that feature of the fear of death. And Babaji, he was such a master. He was able to distill, these things in such a precise way. And we've talked a bit about, Babaji or yesterday, and I talk about him all the time. But in this context, I'm going to sip of chai here. We brewed up a big batch of chai this morning, and so we're all pretty well liquefied with cinnamon and cardamom and, all that. So anyway, Babaji said the mind can either be flowing towards the ego or the divine. And that's it. It's really that simple. .9999999% of the time, the mind is flowing towards the ego. It's not flowing towards the divine. And we recognize that concept of the divine is obscure. It's sublime. It's essentially unknowable to the finite mind. So its attributes are beyond our possible conception. But within that fabric of potential, if we then direct that, meaning our mind towards that abstract, then we develop a more refined state of perception. And we talk about that all the time, about perception. In our work with Seva in selfless service, yesterday we unpacked kind of again and again how we direct our actions towards something other than, say, our own welfare. We shift it into the welfare of, say, a greater possibility. And then we talked a lot about how, in work, our directed motivation in the West is centered around a myriad of things, mind you. But maybe some things that are more that support the ego than support a divine possibility, right? And so the thing that we came up yesterday with was if we work and direct the benefit of our work to the energy of joy, that might begin to refabricate the possibility of how we exist in the world. And it really worked. I mean, yesterday was just magical, you know? And so it's a little bit of a field experiment here, this weekend at Shivalaya. But what I would say is it's an experiment that we can always all participate in, whereby in some way we always come back to this idea of joy within the work that we're doing, and let that be the one of the offerings, if you will. And what I would add to that is, when you dig, through the scriptures in the particular the Upanishads, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, there's this set of teachings that says we are born from joy, we live in joy, and then at death we return to joy. And so, I've contemplated that extensively, mind you. And what I would offer with that is that in the attribute of this divine play that we're in, it's produced through joy. And if that's ever like a question mark for you, just look at nature and consider that all the plants are growing joyfully to the rays of the sun. The whole planet is alive because of the energy of joy. Human beings are conceived and born through the energy of joy. There's something very deep and rich that connects us with that energy. So it's always a possibility to cut through the fabric of the Asmita, of the ego, and include, if you will, one of the core attributes of the divine. So that's about all. And that's all for Chai and Chat, friends. Thanks everyone for being here. Thanks everyone for being on the stream and ultimately, putting up with me. And for those of you who aren't here, we look forward to you coming. I know Sarah, you'll be here in the future. The Sarah that's behind the screen, But let's just come into comfortable seated position here if you haven't already established that. And elongate the spine. And begin to breathe into the belly. Let the eyes certainly close if they haven't already. And when we consider the flow of the mind towards Asmita, the ego, or Ishvara, say the divine, we can be aided by allowing for an attribute, say, of this divine Leela, this divine play, to support our endeavor. And so we may focus on, say, joy as an energy. We may focus on light, just a fulgent golden white light. We may focus on the energy of peace or stillness, or all both attributes of this higher field of the divine. The mind may cycle through maybe all of those attributes in some way to support a deepening of the flow of the mind away from the world, away from the ego self, into the fabric of the higher stratas of conscious perception. Allow for an intention to flow through, and maybe include the intentions for those who are here at Shivalaya and Shivani deck doing our sadhana, the intentions that you formed yesterday. And then allow for the energy of the attributes of the divine to then build within you the peace, the joy, the light. Gently chant the mantra of Om here a couple times. Begin our asana practice, our asana sadhana. So exhale your breathing completely now, friends. And take a nice big inhale. Again, a couple more times inhaling. Good morning and namaste. Let's come to tabletop. Let's just make our way to all fours here. I have to say it's nice and cool up here at Shivalaya, and that feels good. Just begin to circle the hips and include the rhythm of your breathing. So as the heart floats forward, we capture an inhale and exhale the hips back. Just feeling. And then so now all of a sudden we're in the body, if you will, and our perceptions can be guided to sensation because the nature of sensation and the nervous system, and that's fine, but let there be the transparency of the mind being directed towards that imprint that you established, the joy, the peace, the light here. Switching directions. I'm just feeling, breathing. Good morning, Lori. Yeah. Oh. Ooh. And then coming into a neutral position, we'll do just little gentle cat-cow stretches. So inhale, look up, lengthen the front spine, the belly releases, we know. Then exhale, rounding, belly button in, chin in, tailbone in. Really ground the hands here and undulating the spine. Working with breath movement. Yay. And then gently come into the now neutral position here and plant the left hand under the face. Inhale, take the right hand to the sky. Spin the wrist, breathe deeply. And we'll thread the needle, inhale breath, and exhale float. This right hand through on the inside, left shoulder near to the mat. Left hand reaches, top edge, hips drift to the right. And breathe deeply. And a nice big inhale and exhale. Left hand back underneath the ground and it'll float to the right. And then, we were talking yesterday about switching this out. So talking about equanimity in the mind, right, is a method to develop the capacity to direct our perception. Inhale breath and then float. Now this left hand through on the inside of the right hand reaches towards the top edge, hips left here, breathe. Nice big inhale. And exhale that. Right hand back underneath the ground and float to the left. So a way to kind of work with the nature of raga and devesha, so attachment and aversion. Take the hands off the mat to the right side here. Hips stay lifted. Inhale breath. Then exhale, arcing into the left side body as the forehead reaches to or towards the earth. And so this really can show up in our asana practice where the body is having experience and there may be a tendency to begin to, if you will, judge that or what have you, different things. Just sustaining equanimity, samatha in the mind of experience. And then gently, float up to neutral here. Switching it out, so hands off the mat, left side. So it's that middle path maybe we could kind of consider is how we navigate our affairs. The middle way. Breathing. Gently, float up into neutral position. From here, extend the hands out in front. Right palm turns up. Inhale, exhale, just sink into the heart space here. Yeah, breathe. And gently inhale, float up to neutral. Simple switch that out. So left palm turns up, inhale, exhale, sinking. And then gently inhale, float up to neutral position here. And then extend the right leg out to the right. Here, the toes point forward. Again, pretty familiar. And then just let the hips drift back. And then bend the elbows and then meet here on the forearms. And stretch the inner groin. Just feeling into that. And then gently inhale to neutral. Not done. Ground the left hand under the face. Then take the right hand to the sky. Just breathe. Firm up the left hand. Yeah, ground it firm. Inhale, breath. Next, so release to neutral all the way down. And then we'll switch. So extend now the left leg out to left. Toes point forward here. Hips drift back. Elbows bend, forearms. Grounding. Nicely done. And then inhale, float up to neutral. Right hand grounds, and then left floats. Another twist. Stay with the breath here. Big inhale and exhale. Release that left hand down. Back to neutral position here. Extend now the right leg behind you. The toes tuck under on the mat. A little stretch of the calf and Achilles. Let that warm up. And then float now that right leg, hip height, and then the left arm, shoulder height. Yeah, stay with the breath. A nice big inhale. And exhale, rounding. So elbow to knee, squeeze everything in or so. And then inhale, sweep open. Exhale, round, squeeze. One more time. Inhale, sweep open. Exhale, round. And then to neutral we go, and we'll switch. So extend now the left leg behind you, the toes tuck under. Little action for the calf and Achilles, and float left leg. Feeling into that. Right arm floats. Breathe. Reach in opposite directions with some intention here, friends. A big inhale. Exhale, rounding, squeeze. Inhale, sweep open. Intention that's laced with equanimity, surrounding. And then one more of these. Inhale, sweep open. And exhale, round. Yeah. So back to neutral, but then extend the right leg behind you. Float it. Bend the right knee. Lift the foot up to the sky. Float the left arm. And then sweep this left arm behind you and grab the foot. And then squeeze first the heel into the buttocks, a little stretch of the quad in the front of the hip, and then spread the toes of that right foot. Ground the right hand firm, and then kick the foot into the hand. Stay with the breath. Breathe deeply, friends. Kick, 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 kick. Yeah, and then a nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release everything. Down, 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 and then we'll switch. So left leg extends. It floats, knee bends, foot lifts, right arm floats and sweeps behind you. Capture foot or ankle. First, squeeze the heel to the buttocks, little stretch of the quad, and then spread the toes, and then kick the foot into the hand. Stay with the breath. Ground the left hand firm. Going to squeeze that right shoulder blade towards the spine, and just keep kicking. A nice big inhale, and exhale, release all the way down to neutral. Inhale, breath, and then very gently, slowly and peacefully, joyfully, with light-filled intentions, child's pose. Well done, friends. In an equal-minded kind of way. With joy as our gift. And And gently inhale to tabletop, and we'll meet in downward facing dog here, friends. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a moment there, just kind of wiggle into the form. Why I bring up the Upanishad then is that joy is the nature, say, of a divine impression, free of an object, right? So often, joy is connected to an object, and this is where we need to transition from an object that supports, that idea to something that exists in its own perpetual state, its own nature. Breathe deeply here. And then forward fold, please. Walk the feet to the hands. Just take a moment here. And this will happen, friends. Half lift, a descent of stillness is often an experience here at Shivalaya. Big inhale and exhale, hinge. Holding, chin tucks, hands release. A little bend in the knees and send now the left leg back into a lunge here. And then release the left knee to the mat. Take the gaze up. And so this is a classic Surya Namaskar that we're doing now from our tradition, from Babaji's Hatha Yoga tradition. Kind of in honor of our solstice. Don't want to forget that. Just breathe here. Sink into the hip. Nice big inhale. And exhale, plant the hands and step back into down dog. And gently release to the knees, to the belly, and sweep through into Bhujangasana Cobra pose. Like so. Breathe. Stick the breath. And the next move is Ashtanga Prananasana, 8 points bowing. So lift the hips here, bend the elbows, and the chest and the chin to the earth. And then inhale, flow through back into Bhujangasana, Cobra. Inhale, breath. And exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. bend in the knees, left foot steps, left hand. Right knee releases down. For the yogi, you know, the longest day of the year, this light-filled day, is just a representation of Rajas Guna. Which you're trying to refabricate into Sattva Guna, into an essence of purity. Let's begin, inhale. And then exhale, forward fold, back foot steps to the top of the mat. And then inhale, half lift, pause, hands mid shins. Little bend in the knees, cactus arms, flat back, reach to stars. And then just sway the body a little bit. Just checking the height over here. We're doing pretty good. Yes, sirree. And then a big inhale and exhale. Hands to prayer. We have a new shade over the Shivani deck here. I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit. Might be able to see it. There it is. So, works. And then inhale, reach. Worshipping the sun in the form of pure consciousness. Inhale, breath. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, hinge, right leg goes back, right knee grounds. Take an inhale here. Then exhale, step back into down dog. Inhale, breath. Exhale to the knees, flow through. Inhale into Bhujangasana, Cobra. And exhale, Ashtanga Prananasana. 8 points bowing, hips lift, chest, chin to the earth. And then inhale, flow through to Bhujangasana again. And exhale, lift the hips back into down dog. Little bend in the knees, right foot steps, right hand. Left knee releases down, gaze goes up. Inhale, breath. Then exhale, back foot steps to the top of the mat. And then inhale, sweep to standing, flat back, elbows bend. Reach to Surya, the sun, in the form of the pure conscious principle. And then bring that right into the heart. We can direct our mind to the divine. Inhale, sweep, hands and arms reach. Exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forward. Send the left leg back. Release the left knee down. This time we'll float the arms up. So inhale, arms up. And exhale, float the hands down. Plant, step back into down dog. So inhale, sweep through into upward facing dog. You may want to come to the knees first, then activate the quads, the core, and the things. Inhale, breath. And then exhale, Ashtanga Prananasana, 8 points bowing. Knees, chest, chin. And then inhale, flow through to upward facing dog again. Engage the quads. Exhale, lift the hips back into down dog. Little bend in the knees, left foot steps, left hand. Right knee releases down. Inhale, float arms to reach. And then exhale, plant hands, back foot steps, folding forward. And then inhale, sweep, standing, reach. And exhale, bring it into the heart. Remember the Samkalpa, remember your intentions. With that, inhale, float hands and arms. Exhale, hinge. Send now the right leg back into the lunge. Ground the knee. Inhale, float arms. Exhale, gently Stay on plan, step back, down dog. And then again, inhale, sweep through into upward facing dog. You choose how you get there. Exhale, Ashtanga Pranayama, 8 points. Inhale, upward facing dog, Urdhva. And exhale, Adho. A little gentle bend in the knees. Step the right foot to the right hand. Release that left knee down. Inhale, float arms. And then exhale, back foot steps. Fully forward, Uttanasana. And then inhale, sweep, Urdhva Namaskarasana. That's to standing. We go, hands and arms. Reaching to Surya and then to prayer. We're just going to continue. So inhale, reach. Exhale, hinge, fold forward. Send the left leg back, different iteration this time. Inhale, float torso, float arms, come on up. And exhale, just gently float all the way out of it. Hands plant, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, flow through into upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ashtanga Pranayama. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, Adho. Left foot steps. Inhale, float torso, arms reach. And exhale, folding forward, back foot steps, Uttanasana. Inhaling, Urdhva Namaskarasana. And exhaling, Namaskarasana. Okay. Just continuing. Inhale, float hands and arms, reach. Exhale, hinge, letting the mind flow towards the divine. Right leg goes back this time. Inhale, float torso, arms. And exhale, release, plant, step back, down dog. Inhale, flow through, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, up dog. Exhale, Ashtanga Pranayama. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, Adho. Right foot steps, right hand. Inhale, float, reach. And exhale, back foot steps, rolling forward, bowing to that divine principle. And then inhale, aspiring to that light, peace, joy. And then bring that right into the heart. Do one more round each side. A couple different little shifts here. Inhale, float hands and arms. Stay present. Exhale, hinging, folding forward. Send the left leg back into the lunge. Stay with me here. Inhale, float hands and arms. Exhale, right hand, right waist. Inhale, reach left hand forward. Exhale, twist to the right. So left elbow on the outside of the knee to thigh. Right hand covers the left hand. Draw that right hip back. Open arms if you choose. So left earth, right stars. Back leg quad is firm. Big inhale, exhale, this right arm over the head towards the front. Stay with your breathing. Nice big inhale. Exhale, hand down. Look down, plant, step back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, flow through into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, up dog. And exhale, Ashtanga Pranayama, 8 points. Inhale, Urdhva, again, up dog. Exhale, Adho. Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Left foot steps here. Inhale, foot, hands and arms. Just be mindful. Maggie. Exhale, left hand, left waist. Inhale, reach, right hand forward. And then twisting to the left here. Breathing. Firm up the back leg quad. Left hand covers the right. Stay with your breathing. And then reach, right hand earth. Left hand stars. Stay with the breath. And then maybe draw that left arm over the head. Breathe here. Nice big inhale. Exhale, hand down, look down. Back foot steps to the top of the mat. Oh, yay. And then inhale, sweep to Urdhva Namaskar Asana. Reach into Surya, the sun, and bring all that vitality right into Hridayam, into the heart space. Oh, yay. Last side here, big inhale. Exhale, release the hands down, and then just sweep the arms up. Scooping all the prana of the forest to your room that you're in. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Send now that right leg back here. And this time we'll ground the right hand, and then inhale, float the left hand up. So open spinal twist. Stay with the breath. And then bring the left hand to the sacrum and just keep opening into the heart space, and then float open the left knee and just sink into the hips. Stay with the breath. Keep the toes flexing of the left foot so muscles are organized around the ankle and the knee. Breathe here, friends. And then gently float that right knee to the earth. Bend the right knee, capture the foot or ankle with the left hand. Stay with the breath. Big inhale. Exhale, gently release the foot. Hand plants, down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, repeat. Take a moment here. And then gently inhale, flow through into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, so upward facing dog. All in a nice big inhale. Exhale, Ashtanga Pranam, 8 points. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, Adho. And then the right foot steps to the right hand. Ground left hand firm, and then inhale, float the right arm to the sky. Just breathe there, stay with the breath. And bring the right hand to the sacrum. Keep opening the heart space here. And then gently release the left knee down, bend it, capture the foot or ankle, and then float open the right knee and flex the toes towards the shin, that right foot, really with some intention. Big inhale, and exhale, gently release the foot there. Right hand plants, inhale, breath, and exhale, back foot steps forward, folding. Inhale, flat back, all the way to Surya. And then hands to prayer. And then take a moment here, let the hands release down by the sides, the eyes closed, the knees bend, the heart space open here. And just gently open the eyes here. We'll do a little vinyasa to get to down dog. So just inhale, float arms. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, full plant and set back. And then Balasana, child's pose here. Just take a moment. Relaxing, integrating. And then gently we'll meet back into down dog. So just find your way into down dog. And then Virabhadrasana 1, right side. So right foot steps, left heel hips down. One. Reach in arms. Ready? And nice big inhale. And exhale, the hands behind you, interlace the fingers. The birds are louder than I am. I don't know if I can deal with that. Big inhale. And exhale. Fold the torso forward on the inside of this right leg, hands and arms over the head. If you need to that. Exhale, breath. And then inhale, flow all the way up, hands and arms over the head, reach. And exhale, peace warrior stance, hands to prayer heart. Okay. Then we'll come into modified warrior 3. So just work with this as best you can. Release the back foot, point the heel to the sky, step the foot in, pause. And then put weight into this right leg and then just straighten that front leg and lift the back leg, body down, leg up. Then take the arms out to the side. Work with your neighbors. Maybe grab their shoulders. Help them. Help you. Okay. And then careful bend and stand, like knee back into peace warrior stance. Inhale, breath. Exhale, hands to the waist. And then inhale, straighten the front leg. And exhale, pivot 180 degrees to the left. So turn all the way around. Step open that right foot and leg again so the hips square off. And when you're ready, bring the hands and arms back over the head for warrior 1. Again, firming up back leg quad, feeling into that rhythm. Nice big inhale. And exhale, hands behind you, interlace fingers. Inhale, breath. And exhale, bow torso on the inside of this left leg, hands and arms over the head. Breathe in. Exhale, breath. And then inhale, float all the way up and out of it. Hands and arms over the head, reach. And then peace warrior stance. And release the back foot, heel points to the sky, step the foot in. Again, work the weight now, left leg, warrior 3 modified. Straighten the front leg and lift the back leg. Stay with the breath here. And then open the arms to the side. Breathe in here. And then careful bend in the stand leg, knee, release the back foot down, hands back to prayer here at the heart. Then inhale, breath. Exhale, hands to the waist. Straighten the front leg. And exhale, pivot again, 180 degrees. Warrior 2. So just a little standing series for us here. When you're ready, float hands and arms, shoulder height. Sink deep, put a little pulse in the front leg. Then let the palms turn up. And then inhale, straighten the front leg, reach arms over the head. That's all on an inhale. And exhale, bend, float. And then again, inhale, reach, lengthen. Exhale, bend. And one more of these. Inhale, reach, lengthen. And then leave the left arm by the left ear. Bend the right knee and bring the right forearm to the thigh. And just sink into extended standing angle. So Parsva, Konasana, heart spins open. And then straighten this right arm towards the earth and just sink. Stay with the breath. Oh, yay. And then left hand sacrum, heart spins open. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, back foot steps in, plant hand in front of the front foot, and we'll straighten that front leg, lift the back leg, float the left arm. Organize this, really extend through that lifted leg. And then we're going to revolve this, so bring that left hand to the square off the hips. Leg stays lifted, float right arm. Breathe here. And then bend the left knee and capture the foot or ankle with that right hand and just kick foot into hand like we did before. Stay with the breath. And a big inhale. So gently release the foot here. Warrior two is the destination. So back foot gently floats, arms shoulder height here. Inhale, you're breathing. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, straighten the front leg and then pivot right foot in, left foot open. So again, 180 degree turn. Just take the gaze over the middle finger of that front hand. So looking into the forest. If you're here, you're part of the space that you're occupying. At home, palms turn up. Exhale, breath. Then inhale, straighten the front leg, reach. Arms over the head. Exhale, bend. Two more on your own. And then leave the right hand towards the right ear. Bend left knee, left forearm, left thigh. Extend a sun angle here. Just reach, reach, reach. And then straighten the left arm. Sink a little deeper in that left hip. Then bring the right hand to the sacrum. Heart spins open here. Breathe. Be mindful. You're spacing on the deck here. And then Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, back foot steps in. Plant the front hand in front of the front foot or so. Straighten that front leg, lift the back leg. Float right arm to the sky. Breathe in. Ooh. And then revolve it. So right hand earth, hip square, leg stays lifted here. And then float left arm to the sky. And then bend the right knee and capture the foot or ankle. Breathe. Kick the foot into the hand. Nice big inhale. Exhale. Warrior two, gently release the foot here. Carefully plant it back into warrior two. Nice big inhale. Exhale, hands to the waist. Straighten the front leg, pivot left in. So stay here. Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged angle forward fold. Inhale, breath. And exhale, hinge at the hips here. Head releases, hands can eventually release. Weight builds in the big toe mounts. Little squeeze the inner thighs. Peace in the mind. Joy in the heart. Light all surrounding you. And then inhale, half lift. And then we'll walk the hands over to the right here into that Skandasana thing. So lift the right heel and the left toes. Just kind of navigate your way into that carefully. Like so. And then draw the right arm on the inside of the right leg and ground the right hand on the earth. And then float the left arm. Yeah, just twist open into it. Stay with the breath. And then gently release the arm down. And we'll just walk to the other side here. Kind of pass on the bind this morning. So just gently walk over to the other side. Take a moment. Go into that. Left arm on the inside of that left leg. Left hand grounds. Right floats. Breathe here. Stay with the breath. Yay. And then gently release the arm down. Walk the hands over to neutral, and then we'll come into star pose. So just float all the way to standing, the arms wide over the head. Keep the core active. You can lean into it a little bit. That feels good. And then turn the palms up. Just squeeze the shoulder blades onto the back. Even sweep the hands and arms back a little bit. Breathe deeply here, friends. Inhale. And exhale, hands to prayer, heart center. Float gently the arms to the body. Zen-like, peaceful, loving, joyful. And then gently pivot the right foot, and we'll meet at the top of the mat here. And slow it down. Take a moment, little bend knees, eyes closed. the sankalpa of emptiness. Just gently come into a forward fold here. Just slide the hands down the legs, just ease it. Ease it on down. In Balasana, it's a transition, so toes open, release the hips, mindful, knees, hips, things, hands to prayer. And release the hands to prayer. So Janu Shirsasana, so extend the right leg and draw the left hand. So, and then gently square the torso over the extended leg. Make any adjustments for that. And then inhale, draw the arms up and feel extension from the root of the spine through the crown of the head. And then just lean forward just a little bit till the hamstrings contact the stretch of the experience. And then release the hands to the shin. And then the action is up. Just try and, instead of draw down, draw up and forward. The toes stay spread of the right foot. And feel this kind of groundedness of the pelvis. Really further that by extending through the crown of the head, lengthening the spine. Just gonna feel into that. Let the breath deepen here. Let the body be nourished with prana through breathing. And then the body may want to migrate deeper and allow that. So there's space that's revealing itself. Let the body extend. Maybe the hands go to the feet. Just breathe here. Nice big inhale. And exhale. Just drape the body down. Breathe into the belly. So we allow for the sensation in the kidneys and the back body to experience the stretch, the sadhana. And then inhale, float up halfway, and then take the left hand to the knife edge of the right foot, like so. And grip it as far around the foot as you can. And then take the right hand out, and then just float up and twist to the right. Breathe here. Stay with the breath. A big inhale, and exhale. Bend that left elbow and sink into it. So drape down. Belly to the spine. Viscerally pull it in. Inhale. Make your way out of it gently. Walk the hands up the leg to neutral and switch. Again, square the torso over the extended leg, and then grow the arms over the head. Reach real tall. Keep the toe spread of the left foot so the leg is engaged, and begin to feel from the root of the pelvis through the length of the spine. And then a big inhale and exhale. Just lean forward until the hamstring finds the stretch, and then release the hands down, and then lengthen up. Stay with the breath. Breathe deeply. Samatha in the mind, equanimity. Patterning your sankalpa, your intention in some way. Inhale, breath. And exhale, just drape the body down. Maybe move the hands Breathe into the belly. So we push the belly out as we inhale here. And then inhale, float up halfway. Right hand knife edge left foot. And then sweep the left hand open and then just twist a little bit to the left. Breathing here still. And then a big inhale. And then exhale, drape the body down again. And then belly to the spine, pull it in viscerally, and then gently walk the hands up the leg. Release here. Extend this right leg. Ready. Dandasana, stand pose. Heavy arm bones draw back, hands ground, torso is lengthening here. Parsvatanasana. Here, the hands move about 8 inches behind the pelvis. The modification is to reverse tabletop this, or otherwise inhale, float the hips up. Breathe, draw the head of the arm bones back. Just squeeze the shoulder blades together, ground the roots of the fingers as best you can. And then gently release the hips down. I'm going to ask that y'all spin around 180 degrees so your heads are in the center, facing the center of the circle here at home. Just work with what's most suitable for you and come onto your back. Little full body stretch. So allow the arms extend over the head here. Maybe point and flex the feet. And then come into star pose here on the ground. So the arms go wide, the legs and feet go wide. And just work with your neighbors here. Make sure your shoulders are comfortable more than anything. Just relax. So just give the knees a little hug here now into the chest. Little squeeze. You can rock side to side. Little massage of the spine. And then Setu Asana, we know this as bridge pose. So ground the feet on the earth, width of the hips here, and then ground the upper arms into the earth. The fingertips can kind of point towards the sky, say. And then with an inhale, begin to lift the hips and then squeeze the shoulder blades kind of towards one another. That actually rotates the upper arm and then interlace the hands behind you and continue to elevate the hips. That's appropriate here. The chin is lifting a little bit, mainly so the cervical spine of the neck is still has a nice little curve there. And just keep lifting the hips. Stay with the breath. And then ground the right foot firmly on the earth and then release the left leg to the sky. Really push the big toe mound of the left foot. Come into that, try and just reach that foot up, 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 up. Then gently bend the knee, release the leg down. We'll switch. So ground that left foot firmly and then reach that right leg to the sky. Stay with the breath. And then gently release the leg down. Lift the heels here and send the arms long over your head. And then just imagine lifting the pubic bone As you release the spine from the neck to the hips slowly. And once the hips land, rather the heels can release, and then float open the knees in Supta Baddha Konasana, recline down angle pose, soles of the feet together, knees open, right hand belly, left hand heart. Just relaxing the hips here. And then gently, you can even use little support here, draw the knees towards one another, hug them again, and we'll come into a supine twist, Jatara Parivartanasana, feet ground, shift the hips to the right, set them down, and the knees to the left. The arms are in a cactus or T position. The gaze gently floats to the right. Just breathe into the belly and again allow the body to surrender here. Directing the mind to that divine imprint. And then gently float the knees to neutral here and sweep the hips to the left. And then the knees gently to the right, all the way on that right hip point, gaze to the left now. Breathe into the belly. Just relaxing again. Gently draw the knees up to neutral here. A little hug. And we'll come into Viparita Krani Mudra inversion. We know this, hands ground. A little momentum with the feet, legs, hips lift. Hands to the low back. Sink the hips into the hands. A V shape with the body here. Again, chin is lifting, so the cervical spine is, again, sustaining its curvature. Eyes can close. Silent breathing. And we'll gently make our way from the form, a little bit on the knees, hands, earth, hips, slowly float down. A little hug of the knees. Last time, a little side to side, and we'll enter into Shavasana, into corpse pose. And please make yourself comfortable here, clothing or covering yourself. In the Shavasana, the yoga merges into the stillness, into the peace. The capacity of the Asmita is allowed to just fully subside. The essence of individual identity. Your perception is allowed to become universal. There are stages to this. The first stage is as if you're the expanding universe. One may feel the being expanding and growing. And eventually you're in the rapture of the depths of space, traveling Time becomes illusionary in distance. Just unrecognizable. Wider. There's an aloneness that appears. And even in the expansion, a stillness. And then eventually it seems that the expansion begins to slow down. The next perception is that you are the universe. And then somehow a faint recognition exists that there's the fabric that's holding the universe. It feels very mysterious. It's Paragate, it's the great beyond. It's Paramashiva. Gently recognize awareness. And recognize witnessing. And just gently breathe into the belly. And just notice. Notice the quality of mind. Its stillness and peace. Its freedom from the Asmita. And gently let the breath lengthen now and slowly allow for the body to move and things. And stretch at some point. We'll end up on our left side, pausing there. Gently making your way to seated position here. Continue our practice for another 20 minutes or so. Actually, Sarah, I'll invite you to come over here to come get out of the sun. And Kevin, if you want to come over here to get out of the sun. Careful. Take a moment and stabilize the seated position here, friends. And gently let the rhythmic breathing return to the belly. We begin our pranayama practice by doing Nadu Shodan. We know this is alternate nostril breathing or nerve cleansing practice. I know most of you know it. It begins by folding the index finger and the middle finger into the palm of the hand, extending the thumb and the ring finger, lifting the elbow, and then bringing the hand to the face. The little exhale of the breath when you're ready. I'll teach the first round. Inhale through the left nostril, the full yogic breath, the belly expands, rib, chest, so full breath in. Get to the top of that inhale, lift the thumb and take the ring finger and close the left nostril, and exhale through the right nostril, completely emptying the breath. Breathing slowly and fluidly, and then gently inhale through the right nostril, again, full yogic breathing, belly, ribs, chest. Get to the top of the inhale. We lift the ring finger, thumb closes right nostril, and we exhale now then through the left nostril completely, very gently. Continue the practice as time permits here. Nadi Shodan nerve purification practice. Listen carefully here. Completing the round that you're on by exhaling out the left nostril. So cycle through. Observing the effects of the practice here. We move to Dirga Re Chakramyam, extended exhalation here. Just deeply inhaling full yogic breath and very slowly exhale the breath, going to the very depths of the bottom of the exhale. You might even imagine that the mind is flowing towards that divine attribute. And then we'll complete this practice, your next exhalation. And then we'll simply flip this around to Dirga Purak, and that means extended inhalation. So when that's fluid for you, with a full yogic breath, very, very, very slowly inhaling, and then a normalized exhale. So Dirga Purak Pranayama, extended inhale. your next exhalation, completing this practice now, releasing the breath entirely from modification. The practice is called Nishkala. Nishkala, and it means without parts. So allow the flow of mind to then be directed once again to that universalized aspect of perception. And the concept of nirvana, the void. Nishkala, nirvana. The mind may produce a thought. Just allow yourself to be independent from that impulse and allow it to just gently subside. And just allow the being to float back to the sense of peace or stillness, the vacancy of the void. Its fullness and its emptiness.
Observing your breath here. Just witnessing the field of the senses. Just observing. So gently bring hands to prayer here. Just feel the touch of the pads of the fingers with each other. And a little moment of presence revealing itself. Chant one Om here to complete our sadhana. Practice exhaling and then inhaling the breath. Just sharing a sense of gratitude for this time that we can spend with one another, and that certainly the exploration of the practices of yoga, and to our Seva and sadhana crew, and all the good things. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Quite the journey, friends. And thank you all for hanging online through the practice. And and you know, everyday seva, everyday work and how we kind of condition our pathway in the world. And, as Babaji said, the mind can either flow to the ego or to some divine impression, and take a moment for that. And yeah, thanks everyone. Shulai, Cruz, Sarah. Yep. Steph, thanks for tapping in on all that. And remember to love peace, everybody. Love peace. Boom.